Hello everyone, and thank you for joining my presentation on the new Wire EDM enhancements for TNG Release 3.1. First, we're going to talk about Wire EDM Smart Operation Dependencies. Wire EDM dependencies eliminate illegal ordering of operations. We now have implemented operation dependencies for Wire EDM. This means you can no longer move certain children operations independently. For anyone who isn't familiar with Wire EDM, when you program a Wire EDM operation, depending on the number of cuts you ask for, you will have a different number of children operations. Most of the time, you will have at least a rough cut and maybe a few skims. In the 2000 series, customers would be able to move operations in any order they wished. While this might have its advantages, it would often lead to operations being moved in an illegal order. For example, when you have an operation with 4 skim cuts, you cannot move the last skim cut above the rough cut. If you were to do that, the wire would surely break due to there not being enough power going through the wire. So as you can see, I would not be able to move skim 1 above the rough cut. That would be something that's illegal. However, it would be perfectly legal to move the cutoff from the first set of operations to the cutoff with the second set of operations. That would be a legal move. Legacy files with the legal order are now properly reordered. When you open a legacy file in TNG, the automatic reordering will take place, and it will insert the dependencies as necessary. You will need to rebuild the operations manually in order for the toolpath to be correct, since when operations are ordered, it can affect the shape of the toolpath. In the next milestone release, the rebuilding will be automatic. Let's go ahead and see some examples. If you take a look at this file, I have programmed a punch. However, if I open up the operation, you'll see the order should be rough skim cutoff, or rough skim. That is for a punch. If I go to my Operations tab, what we're going to notice is that I've actually reordered them to go rough, cutoff, skim, something like a die. Okay, that is illegal in TNG. Let's go ahead and open up that same file in TNG. Now, if we look at the right-hand side here, we're going to see we now have a rough operation, the skim operation, and then the cutoff operation. That would be the correct order based on what we programmed. So if I copy this operation and I paste it onto this feature, I now have 2 sets of operations here. Now if I try to click on the cutoff and drag it up, that's illegal. Alright. But if I want to drag it down so it's with the other cutoff, that's fine. I can also select the whole group of operations under the child, parent and child relationship, and I can reorder these to wherever I want. The great thing about this is it will no longer allow customers to program operations in an illegal order. Also, when you do advanced EDM sorting, it will no longer allow you to create an illegal sorting algorithm. Now let's talk about FNUC Wire EDM database conversion. It is now possible to convert the technology PDF into a usable XML file. When customers purchase a FNUC EDM machine, they receive a PDF with the machine technology. Our new converter translates the data into a usable XML file. The FNUC post for both TNG and E2000 series has been updated and validated. It has been uploaded and is ready for use. Now let's talk about Wire EDM database and post distribution. Where do you find your EDM posts and XML databases? Well, we've made it easy now with 2 new bulletins that will give you all the links to the post processors and the XML files we have published. Let's talk about what is needed to make an XML file. So you can see from this little chart all the different machine manufacturers and the required files to create them. The one thing that's important to mention here is in the past, we have asked SODIC customers for a backup of data from their controls. In America, SODIC does not want us to do this anymore. If any XML file is needed, please contact support and we will obtain the data directly from SODIC. Let's talk about the proper Wire EDM database workflow. The correct workflow for getting an XML file created is to first create a support web incident. The application engineers need to then ensure the correct files are received and pass them on to Tier 2. The Tier 2 AE will verify that the correct files have been provided and then create a dev web case. This creates a case for R&D that will be assigned to the developer to be converted. Once the files are converted, the dev web case will be closed with the files attached. It's important to follow this workflow so we don't end up losing the XML files we've created. We only publish XML files that have been verified by the machine tool manufacturer. This means that if we get data from just one customer, we will not publish it for all customers. The reason being is that the data that's provided with each machine may differ, and we cannot guarantee that it will be accurate or complete. With a proper workflow, we will have a good record of the files that have been created. Since customer-specific XML files will only exist for them, I suggest placing these XML files directly into their customer files so they can be easily retrieved if necessary. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Have a good day.